Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Friday. TGIF. I'm by myself today. Not good, but it's okay. How's everyone go? How's everything's going here? It's been like absolutely a crazy one this week because I redid my setup. So before I get into anything, all right, whoever's here, the couple of you that are here, let me know how audio is. Let me know how the video is. Let me know how everything is because this is brand new, this setup. So if something is off, I can fix it before I get like halfway into a long dissertation on nothing, the annexation of Puerto Rico or something. So, guys, how is it going? In the chat right now, let me know. Sound is good. That's good. Audio, 5 out of 5. Good. That's what I want to hear. Videos, 5 out of 5. That's what I want to hear. Radioactive Texan, thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. So, yeah, I did a lot of changes, and in so doing, it was good and it's bad because whenever you make changes, you have to like rebuild stuff. And I'm using OBS. Some people ask me like, what do I use for streaming? And that's what I use. I use OBS Studio, which is really good. But whenever you make like a major change, or if you're moving from platform to platform, you have to kind of recreate these scenes and the sources and bring them all in and rebuild it. So I think everything's working. So, so we will see. We will see what happens. Let me go and take a look at the YouTube chat, see if we're here. We are here. YouTube chat is working. That's always good to see. I like to see that. So yeah, so there's going to be, a few changes here and there, and hopefully when everything is said and done, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have some of you guys on, or maybe someone else on a Friday besides myself and Fabiola, my wife that's normally here. So that's pretty good. I'm doing a lot of back end stuff to kind of get it all worked out. And, we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. But anyways, thank you for that. I'm glad audio and video is coming through good. Gala Girl's here. Thank you for being here. Peter says, I'll be late. What is going on with his blood pressure? Peter, what is going on? You got to calm down. What, why is your blood pressure up? But hopefully you feel better. John, how are you doing? John Wolf's here. Everything is good, and no one is here. Thank you, Ricky Joe. Who else? Fragile is here. Let me just move down here. Robbie, thank you for being here. Robbie is a wonderful, wonderful guy. Let's see. We have Radioactive Texan. Let's see. Welsh and Farms. Welsh and Sons Farms. Thank you for being here. Dominic's here. Who else? Who else? Ready, said hello to Radioactive Text. And we have Honey Badger. Thank you for being here. Joe's here. Mark. Who else? And Arnold is here. Shannon is in the house. Thank you, Shannon, for being here. Um, it's amazing how things change, and then it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I kind of like it. And what I've been listening to, I've been trying to listen to myself on these to see how the audio sounds, and it's been sounding pretty good, pretty clear, and that's what we're looking for. Let's see who else. Alfonso, thank you for being here. George is here. Um, let's see. Munhan Outdoors is here. Whip Clips here. Drone Oki is here. David, Jim, Speed Racer, Memorable Places. Thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out on a Friday. You could be doing something else. I do appreciate you guys being here as always. So this week was an interesting week. There was a lot of stuff going on. I didn't talk about a lot this week because the things that were going on were kind of like, even though there was a lot, there was nothing like stellar, nothing like really big. There was a couple of things. Obviously, we had that explosion with the Starship. That was like a problem because one of the I think it was like a Raptor engine. I think what ended up happening, I think it was a coolant line. It's something having to do with coolant, but I don't know. If one of you guys knew exactly what happened with that last explosion, let me know. They pulled it off the test pad to see what was wrong, to see if they have to rebuild anything or whatever. But there was some damage, as far as I understand. But if you guys know more than I do in the chat, let me know. So that was kind of interesting. It just, I told you guys that we are going to see a May launch, right? Beginning of May, maybe mid-May, and that's just not happening because obviously they had a problem. So I'm going to say between the 20th and 25th, we should see this thing go off, give or take a month or two. I'm just kidding. This isn't Jeff Bezos' thing. Where is Jeff Bezos? Let's see. Can we bring Bozo up? We can. Look at that dude. Look at him. Look at Bozo. Love this guy. So yeah, I just found out also a couple of days ago. Now I could be wrong, but I was reading in two different places that Project Kuiper, right, Jeff Bezos's baby, I guess, which is equivalent to SpaceX Starlink, supposedly will not launch another set of satellites until December. Now I don't know how that's even possible. That is sad if that is the truth. So I really don't know. I don't know, but that's what I heard. If anyone else can attest to that being factual, let me know. Or if it's not factual, let me know also. But that's what I heard. So, you know, we're gonna see. We'll have to bring Elon out, and he can just kind of hang out with Bozo over there and do his little dancing. But we'll see what ends up happening, because if they don't get another satellite up until December, I mean, they're going to be so far behind. As it is, even if they launch 27 satellites every month for the next 15 months, I think I calculate like 253 or some just stupid amount. It's just not enough satellites. And they were saying they were going to go live at the end of 2025. They can't. It's just stupid. But anyways, if you guys know anything, let me know. Let me know. Let's go ahead and pull those people off here. So let me go into this. So that was that explosion that happened. Then I also did something. We were talking about the Starbase City, and I thought that was kind of interesting. But Elon Musk now has his own city. It's 1.6. I think it's 1.6 square miles. I think that's what it is. If I'm wrong, you let me know. But I think it is 1.6 square miles. So that is Starbase City. And now he literally has his own city. What's really nice about this, and what people they get, a lot of people will talk down on it and be like, oh, now he's like a god. He owns his own city and everything. It's not really about that. It's more about having complete control over the area. Because whenever they do a launch and there's like something going on, they have to shut down roads, right? They have to shut down airway. They have to shut down the ocean around, the beaches. They have to shut down, right? There can't be some guy like walking around, with his, metal detector, or someone looking for shells and then like a chunk falls on their head or something. Yeah, you can't have that, right? So by owning that whole area, which he already did, but now creating it into a city, it gives them a little bit more control. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing. And what I would love to see is if they had like a hotel there, right? And they had like literally turn it into a Cape Canaveral like we have here, but for Starbase. And you can go there, you go to the hotel, you come down, you watch like a rocket launch, you could be on your outside patio, let's say, and you're watching, maybe a Falcon 9 go up, or even a Starship would be even cooler. But yeah, that would just be kind of neat, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? And then today we were talking a little bit about the FAA green lights, the SpaceX Starship, but currently, they only had authorization of doing 5 starships per year, but as of today, or a couple of days ago, they're authorized to be able to launch 25 starships per year at the Boca Chica site in Texas. So that's amazing. And what I was speculating is, imagine, if you have that Starbase 2 here on the Space Coast in Florida, what is that going to look like? If they can authorize another 25, you're talking about 50. That would just be insane. As it is, at 25, you're looking at 2 launches per month. If it goes to 50, you're looking at now 4 launches per month. That's like a launch a week of Starship. So that would be just unbelievable. And that's going to help us out a lot using SpaceX Starlink, because you're going to get faster speeds, because you're going to finally be able to get the version 3 satellites on orbit. Anyways, guys, do me a favor. If you have a question, put at JCristina before your question, at JCristina. I used to say put a Q, but the Q just disappears and I can't see it. So yeah, just put at JCristina. It makes it so much easier for me to be able to see. Let me see if there's any questions in here. Let's see. Ricky Joe says, check your email. I will do that before the end of tonight. We'll go in there and check. It says, I got a managed Netgear switch that supports VLAN. but not load balancing. Is there a way I can hook both AT&T and T and so yeah, VLAN is not going to do you. You're going to need something that does some type of load balancing between multiple networks. So it has to be a multi WAN router setup. Like I told you guys, I'm using a Raspberry Pi for my router, and I have three ISPs routed into this, and it does gigabit speeds. So I have Starlink in here, I have T-Mobile in here, I have a another company that is a fiber in here. I have everything into this one Raspberry Pi, and that is my router, and that's what runs everything. So you can do that too, but if you're going to use a regular router, then you're going to need a multi-WAN router so that you can bring in multiple WANs. Either, usually the multi-WAN routers only allow you two. Um, but anyways, you need that to be able to do it. VLAN is not going to do it. That just basically divides up your network into virtual areas, let's say, but that's not going to help you out. Let's see, more questions, more questions. Once again, Q before your question. Um, let's see, radioactive T plus one. Yes. Um, let's see. Dronoki says, hello. Hello. How are you doing? Let's see. George. Let's see. Remember Riddle, Daytona Beach, when the launch, first SSL. Really? After the Challenger. Man. All classes stopped. We went outside to view it coming over our A building. Yes. We used to do the same thing, George. We used to do the same thing. When I was growing up, the space shuttle was a really big thing. And the schools would basically, I wouldn't say shut down, but the classes would basically shut down because now you'd have the live broadcast of the space shuttle launch, and everyone would just stop and watch because it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. And throughout my years in school, it was like that. And I remember when there was the one that blew up with the teacher on board and all the rest of the stuff. Anyways, was it Discovery? Anyway, so yeah, that was sad. That was sad. But yeah, watching them it's just awe-inspiring, just to be able to see it actually happen. And being that it's so close, I remember when that one did blow up here in Palm Beach, we were actually able to see it, and it was just sad. It was absolutely sad. Anyways, once again, if you have a question, put an @JCristina before your question. Let's see what is going on with everyone tonight. What is going on? Wells Fargo says, "Well, get better, Pete." Yeah, yeah, Peter. We're not sure what's going on with Peter. But he'll be back in. He'll be back in, I'm sure. Said he had a blood pressure issue, high blood pressure maybe. See a doctor. I don't know. Um, John, I always love John. John's comments. Trump is helping Elon with Starlink. With country, tell the country to use Starlink and get better deals from us. It's in the yeah, that's all right. You hit the wrong button. So yeah, it's yeah, John. I really don't think that Trump is really helping Elon Musk very much. I mean, he's done a lot, obviously, but as far as SpaceX Starlink is really that damn good that it kind of sells itself. All right. I have a very good friend, a local friend that is in the Starlink game, let's say, and the business that he's a part of is doing absolutely blockbusters. I mean, just crushing it, absolutely crushing it. And the reason being is the service sells itself. It is that good, and that's as of right now. When we see the version threes are up there, I mean, just everything is just going to do this. I mean, just going to just straight up like that. And the reason being is you're going to have lower latency, you're going to have faster download speeds, faster upload speeds, and you're going to have just better reliability. You're not going to have any downtime at all. It will definitely be a solid 99.99999 uptime. because number one, you're going to have faster satellites that have the about 20 times the capacity. They're about 4 times the size, so they're pretty damn big. But having that 20 times the capacity is just crazy. So there's not going to be any more lines. No one's going to be waiting anymore. There's not going to be no waiting lines of any kind. And also, you're not going to end up having to pay any type of extra fee, $100 or $250. You're not going to have to do that because there won't be areas that are congested anymore. Remember, we're up to like 7,000, close to 7,300 satellites on orbit. And about, what is it, 250, 350, somewhere around there, that are the satellites that you can basically use your phone with, right? The DTC or direct to cell satellites. Those are there. So I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. Do I see a purple hair? I see a purple hair. There is a purple hair because Fabiola is not here. Yes, yes, yes. There's no purple hair. Good audio. That's good. Thank you so much, Shannon. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Low energy, you think so? I don't know. The What's up, Joe? Yeah, no, it's been a long week this week, and I've been doing just so much late night work at rebuilding everything. Everything is like a clean build. So it's a complete fresh build. And whenever you do that, what ends up happening is you're like going through all of these steps of trying to fix stuff. If you guys remember or not, the last time we were here on Friday, I was using a Zoom, I believe, audio, an analog to digital converter, right? And now I'm using a Scarlett, a 4i4 Scarlett, and I just absolutely love this damn thing. And it just sounds better. It's more crisp. The audio is a little bit more powerful. There's a little bit more kind of like it's just good. It's just good. The new mic is doing well. That's good. I also moved the software around a little bit, so we're not having audio issues anymore. Thank God. So yeah, Shannon, it's been a lot. It has definitely been a lot, but that's okay. That's all right. I have no problem with it. Hey, listen, Shannon just gave 20 free membership, guys. 20 free memberships. If you were one of the folks that got a membership from Shannon, please say thank you. Say thank you. Let me see who we're going to go through it once. We're going to go through it once, Shannon. We're going to do it. Peter Clark, Kevin, Wu Tang. I love that. Wu Tang. You got one. Wu Tang Davis. Who else? James, HCL, White Low. White Lotus, I guess. Daniel, let's see who else. Let's go down here. Sandman, Slider, John, Norden. Not that bright bulb. I like that. Not the bright bulb on the Christmas tree. I like that. You got a free membership and you got a great handle. Brad got one. Let's see. Alex, Austin, Bruce, Mark. So listen, if you guys once again got a free membership, say thank you to Shannon. Thank you so much, Shannon. Really appreciate it. We see Flying Pretzels in here. Look at that, member for 1 month. Wow, you see that? I think you've been there a little bit longer than a month. I don't know what that's about, but maybe that's probably from the one of the Shannon gives outs, one of those giveaways that Shannon does. Appreciate you, Shannon. Thank you so much. Loving the lava lamp. I do like the lava lamp. It's a small one. It's a small one. I want to get a bigger one just because I like big and I like the lava lamps. I just like what they look like. So yeah, I might get a bigger one. I didn't know if I was going to like it or not, but I like it. It's kind of cool. I like the movement going on behind me and this stuff over here and all that kind of stuff. Once again, if you have a question, put a at JCristina before the question and I'll get to it. I will try. I won't miss any. Maybe I will. I don't know. Hopefully the thing doesn't take a dump like when Fabiola's here. My wife's here with me, but we'll see. Let's see. Daryl says, "Have you installed Starlink in an RV?" I used a DC to DC converter from, or I guess it'd be a DC to. It could be DC to DC converter. Oh, it's a 12 version for version 3 dish. So I have not. Okay, I don't have an RV. That being said, it's really stupid simple to do now. It's not like it was before. You could use a Mini or you can use a Gen 3. It doesn't make a difference. The Mini is really nice if you're going to install it in an RV. The reason being is it has a barrel connector in the back. It also is powered by USB-C if you want to power it by that. But just having that barrel connector so that you can connect 12 volt right out of like your battery or right from a Jackery or from an EcoFlow or from whatever you're using when you're RVing around, or just right to the camper itself. It just makes it super, super easy and you don't waste power. People don't know this, but if you have like an inverter that you're using to invert your DC to AC, or even the other way around. Whenever you invert the electricity, you're going to end up losing sometimes 5%, 10%, sometimes up to 20%. It depends on how trash your inverter is. Some of the really good sine wave, some of the good sine inverters, they're clean. We talk about that all the time, clean power. People don't realize that there is a difference between dirty power and clean power. The power that you get from your municipality is dirty as hell. It's really shitty power. Whereas when you get like an EcoFlow or something like that, the power that's coming out of that, if you put an oscilloscope on it, right, it would look like this, smooth like butter, just super, super tight, right? Just clean. Whereas the power that you get from your municipality, it's like this. It's like all over the freaking place. It's just like a hot mess. And that's usually what eats up electronics too. Electronics love clean power. So anyways, you don't have to invert your power if you're using a Mini, but if you're using a Gen 3, you will. So either which way, it's super, super simple to put it into your RV now. It's not like it used to be. So let me know how that goes. I always love to hear from people that are doing interesting things with their Starlink. We've had people that are driving in the car that throw their minis on the front dash, and they're whoever's next to them, they're sitting there, playing a game or they're surfing the web or ordering stuff from Amazon. I mean, just crazy, right? And there's no more dead spots or very little because these satellites, there's always a satellite overhead. I mean, when you're 7,300 of them, there's always a satellite overhead. So, um, anyways, once again, at JCristina, if you have a question, make it super, super easy for me to find. Mitch says, I wish you were on Rumble, even though they had a DDoS, yeah, DDoS attacks. So why would Rumble get a DDoS attack, right? Who in the hell wants to take down Rumble? Just stop already. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. We were, so Rumble approached me, God, like 2 years ago or something, and wanted me to get on board. And I'm like, okay, it was like they courted me for literally like 2, 3 months. And finally, I'm like, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. And I put the stuff on there, and then I signed the waiver or whatever it is so that they can actually extract my videos from YouTube and place them onto Rumble. So I don't have to do it. It's just one less thing to upload. So I'm like, okay, here you go. And they started doing it. So if you go to Rumble, you look at my account, go to JCristina, you will see I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on there. I didn't put them there. They put them on there for me. The problem is YouTube is like, no, we don't want you to be able to do that anymore. And that was the end of that. So, so now anyone that's on Rumble, they're there, but they're there um, by putting the stuff up themselves and having to redo it for and I just don't have time. I just don't. But yeah, I was on Rumble. I'm still on Rumble. It's still sitting there. But when that time came where they were no longer to extract from me, even though I gave them permission, YouTube said no. You got to love Alphabet, Google, they are, it's right. It's like they got that stronghold on like just everything, on ads, on it's bad. And that's one of the reasons why the DOJ is going after Google. They want to break them up, They want to tear Android off, or they want to tear Chrome off. They want to tear it apart because it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it really stifles competition because people can't compete. They just can't. Very difficult. Let's see. That was the Rumble question. Good evening, Phoenix on fire. Thank you for being here. Good evening, everyone, he says, or she says, either way. Um, Arnold Smith. We love Starlink here in Southeast Texas. Yes, Starlink is it's just amazing. I mean, it really, it it was the beginning of everything. People don't understand this. Um, let me just say something perfectly frank. AT&T, I have no love for AT&T, right? They screwed us for about 25, 30 years, okay? With the absolute abysmal, just horrid internet, which was 1.5 megabits up and 15 megabits down. And we had that for literally 20 some years. So, whereas my relatives in the UK were getting like gigabit speeds on like 5G networks on the top of a mountain someplace. Okay, no joke. That's fact. But so this is what we had, this shit service. But what ended up happening was is Elon Musk came out with the whole Starlink thing. I was on board and I had to wait 9 months to get it. I put my $100 down. Finally, they said, yes, you can get it. Give us the $600, threw them the 600 bucks happily. And all of a sudden we had it. And that's when I started doing this coverage on Starlink. But not only was it revolutionizing for everyone that's in the rural community, but what ended up happening is it's forced the telcos to pick up the pace and start rolling out fiber. And, that's the whole thing is not only SpaceX Starlink just an amazing system, it is the catalyst to actually get these telcos like AT&T, all the rest of them, Frontier and all the rest of these shit ass telcos that just rape the public over the decades and decades. Now all of a sudden they're forced to actually do something, which is good. And that's one of the reasons why they started rolling fiber in my area. Even though we're on a 5 acre track, we're in the middle of nowhere, we still are ended up rolling out fiber to us. Whereas we had fiber at the can and AT&T was using it at the D-Slam at up the road, and it stayed there for 20 years. And that's all I did is they rolled that out in copper. And now all of a sudden AT&T is like, we don't want to support copper anymore. That's all we want to do is over air, and that's it. We don't even want to do copper. So they're doing a little bit of fiber, but they're still not doing enough. But if it wasn't for Elon Musk and SpaceX Starlink, I can tell you right now, the fiber that you see today in the rural areas would not be there. Would not. Because the idea of bridging the digital divide and all the rest of the bullshit now, how they got billions and billions and billions of dollars, they didn't do anything for it. Minuscule, a very, very small amount. So anyways, if Fab was here, she would kick me because I go off on a tangent. If anyone, gets upset with me going off on a tangent, let me know. You can throw a kick in the comment area. I'm okay with it in the chat. Um, let's see. Hotel, motel, Starbase would be awesome. That's from Jeffrey. Yes, wouldn't that be cool? I would really like to see a hotel or a motel. So it would be like an Area 51, but you can actually stay at a hotel there and then get out and see a rocket launch. I mean, you can't beat that. That'd be cool. Could you imagine being there? Okay. Remember, it's only a mile and a mile point six, right? So just under 2 miles, square miles. So you're obviously they would have to put the hotel on the outer periphery. You don't want to drop a damn rocket on top of a hotel. That would be a bad day. So, but could you just imagine just listening to, like, for example, a super heavy come in and get caught with Mechazilla, right? Get caught with the chopstick arms, and you can hear it just destroying the sound barrier and start shaking the bill. That'd be cool shit. That would be cool. That would be good stuff. That'd be for me. I don't know. How about you guys? I think it'd be pretty neat. Pretty neat. Um, Let's see. Daryl says I'm running a Gen 3 in the RV, but powered from a Blue Yeti. Yeah, yeah. The those Blue Yetis they're good. They're good. I mean, it's a solar generator. You got the AC was a 200L. That's great. That's more than sufficient. It'll work perfectly fine. Um, let's see. Moving on. Patching patch. What did I do last time? That was George. What is George? George, what the hell are you talking about, George? Um, hey Jake, I just installed Perplexity. Awesome. Love it. Yeah, I did a like a how-to thing on Perplexity. I normally don't do those because I know they don't go over very well, but I didn't care. I'm not, you know, we do like the revenue that comes in when there's ads playing. It's important. Okay. If you're a creator, trust me, it's important. Okay. Anyone that says it's not, they're lying. because it is important, because it helps you do what you do. But I said, you know what? I want to do this one because it's going to help a lot of people out. And I did, if you didn't watch it, watch that video. And it talks about how you can go from a Google search instead of using Google, which is just so biased. If you guys don't know that Google is as biased as hell, then you'd been under a rock. You know, remember during the pandemic, everything you would search for that had to do with certain things would just get buried, like on page 60. Whereas stuff that now, as of today, we find out that are fallacies. We didn't think so, or they didn't think so, or the narrative wasn't so. They pushed it all the way up to page one. Yeah. So that's Google for you. Okay. They really kind of hone in and dial in a narrative because they have the ability to do it. They have, I think it's 89% of all search happens on Google. So Perplexity has a method of using a URL to push, okay, a string, to push a prompt into it. If you don't know what Perplexity is, I probably should have told you guys. Perplexity is the same thing as Grok. Perplexity is the same thing as ChatGPT. Perplexity is an LLM, okay, a large language model. It's AI, okay? So what's really cool with Perplexity is you can use it in your browser and now use it as your main search engine. So I predict that 89% stronghold that Google has right now, as Grok and ChatGPT and the ease of moving into using one of these LLMs as your search engine just gets more and more simple. I think people are just going to go away from it. So that 89% stronghold is going to fall down to the 70s, then it's going to fall down to the 60s, so on and so forth. Because when you look for something, right? And you look for it in Google. Number one, it's very biased, so you don't really know what you're looking at. But anyways, you go in there and you're like, that's not really what I want. But I found a page that's kind of like it. But then you go and you dig in a little deeper. You do a different search, and then you change the query that you have, and you change it a little bit, and then you get another list. And you're sitting here doing all this stuff. Whereas if you use an LLM, you look up the exact same thing, right? Let's say it's Starship, and it pulls up all this Starship information, and then it gives you citing. It actually cites everything. So you can go back and see what's real and what's not real, right? It's all there. So then you can say, okay, I really want you to go down this path. Maybe the path is like, when is the next one going to happen? You could tell the LLM, can you look up, when is the next one, let's say going to or estimated to launch? And it will go into that and it will search through the entire web for you instead of you having to do it. Okay. So I really do think that search is going to change, where search is not going to be Google anymore. Search is just going to simply be AI. It just makes more sense to me. What do you guys think? And if you guys haven't tried Perplexity, why the hell not? It's really, really good. And if you want to use it as your default browser search, just watch that video that I put together and I teach you how to do it. And I tell you the why behind it. So you can do it on all of your browsers. I think I did it on Chrome, which is probably sacrilegious because I was kind of going against the norm of Google, but that's just what pulled up, and that I should have used Firefox. I'm an idiot. Anyways, I use Chrome, but you could use, Firefox, use DuckDuckGo. I don't care. Whatever you use, I teach you how to do it. So check that out. Once again, if you haven't tried Perplexity, definitely give it a look-see. Um, let's see. Moving down, I don't think the Tesla phone is real. No one asked. I don't think the Tesla phone is real. The Tesla phone is not real. Any video that you see on YouTube with the Tesla phone, it is 100% fictitious. This is just what happens. This is what happens. If you start watching YouTube channels that are faceless, you don't see some guy. Even if you do see a guy, I can be lying to you, right? But when you see the faceless ones, chances are just take that all with a grain of salt. Because the majority of them is just all fake, just BS, just trying to get clicks and flood the friggin' system. So Steve says, "Hey Jay, just installed Perplexity." Oh, I got to that one. Hey, and you liked it. That's what I like to hear. Once again, anyone else, let me know. Let's see. Let me see. Mark says, "You're the bee's knees, Shannon." Thanks so much. I love that. Shannon is the bee's knees. Thank you, Shannon. Um, Let me see. Let me see. I know I don't want, I'm trying not to miss anything because sometimes I'll go through too quick and then it'll like jump and I'll miss it. Michael says, I want a mini, but I want a Ethernet port. So interesting. Shannon can tell you all about that in the chat. But we had a discussion back and forth, and now they have the not just a mini, like the mini router, whatever. They have the mini, but it's a mini when it comes to like being a AP or an access point. It's a little tiny. It looks like a router. It's really thin, and I did a video on that too. So go and look that up. But on the back of them, this is just awesome. On the back of it, you have an Ethernet port and you have the port that is the X port, let's say, right? Well, that Ethernet port, I didn't know it, but Shannon let me know that Ethernet port can be used to extend. So if you wanted to attach another, let's say, I don't know, a router to it or whatever, you could do it. Attach a switch to it, you could do that. So it is usable. It's not just for backhauling. But since it is a backhauling device, which is awesome, if you don't know what that is, Generation 1 and Generation 2 SpaceX Starlinks did not allow for backhauling. Okay. Generation 3 does, and the minis and all the rest. So, what is backhauling, right? That's what someone's going to be like. What the hell is a backhaul, anyways? So, backhauling is basically when you make a mesh network, and instead of allowing the mesh network to connect AP to AP to AP, right? So, router to router to router to router, access point to access point, right? To form the mesh network, if you have a mesh network that's really large and you need to get a router from here to connect to something on the other side of like a 5,000 square foot house, let's say. Well, to do it through, let's say let's say 5G or 2.4, it doesn't really make a difference. It's just you can't, it's just very difficult. Remember, crap in, crap out. So the way to do it is you backhaul it. So you connect a cable from the router over to the AP that's far away, and now that AP has full strength, full signal. That's how you do a proper network when you're dealing with stuff that's really out on the outer peripheries, when things are far apart. Okay. Well, version 1 and version 2 did not allow you to do that. You couldn't connect a cable from one to another and allow it to backhaul, whereas the new routers do. And that is massive. Also, this little mini router thing is just so freaking awesome because the damn thing is 40 bucks, guys. When we wanted to build a mesh network back at the very beginning, you'd have to buy 120, 120, 120, 120, however many you wanted in the mesh network to form that mesh. Whereas now you don't. You can have the one router and then you can buy all of these $40 little APs. I mean, that's just awesome. So basically, you get three for the price of one back in the day. Okay. That just shows you how far SpaceX Starlink has come. Literally in like what, 45, 50 months? Not that long. All right. Not very long, maybe 3 years, right? So very, very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Moving on through the chat. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina. I would really, really appreciate that. Shannon, thank you so much. Shannon says, I want to give one away tonight, Joe. Just figure out how. That's a good question. Shannon wants to give away one of those little mini APs. That's really generous. That's really generous. Thank you so much for that, Shannon. Let's see how we can do it. We could do a random number poll. I could go to like random like .org or whatever, and pull a random number. We'll figure it out. You think too, Shannon. I'm gonna think, and I'll see what we can find. That'd be really cool to be able to give one of those away. So we will see. We'll see if we can make that happen tonight. We'll give away that a mini, which is the AP. They're so cool, so cool. I didn't realize how cool it was until Shannon was telling me about it, because I didn't know if they were going to be able to do backhauling and use that extra port on the back as a real port. That's just freaking awesome. Man, they're just see, other companies would not do that, okay? They would sell you some other shit and charge you more. They would never sell you that for 40 bucks. They just wouldn't. Or they would somehow just nerf it, okay? They would nerf it. and like the backhauling would cost you an extra 40. Using it as a router, so you have the one extra port, that would cost you another 40. Then you're back to 120. But they didn't do that. It's just, you got to give them props over there at SpaceX Starlink. You just have to. You just absolutely have to. Welch and Farm says, I think I locked her in the finished bathroom. I should. That's right. No, she's actually, so Fabiola is gone, but instead of being gone like last week, she was kind of in and out because of work. This week it's Mother's Day weekend. So she's off with her mother, which is awesome. And they're enjoying it. And that's just great. That is just absolutely great. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, there's no Tesla phone. Elon Musk already said that there will not be a Tesla phone. There will not be a Pi phone. He's not doing a phone unless Apple or the Android base, like a Google or whoever, does something nefarious that makes them forces him to make a phone. And then he said he'll make a phone. But until then, no phone. So don't believe any of the phone stuff. Let's see. Moving on, Starbase. Let's see, Johnson and watering hold. Yes, that would be 120 a person. Sweet. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. George says folks who have dirty power and treat the whole home with a power conditioner end up saving money since everything in the home it runs basically more efficiently. That's correct, George. People don't realize that dirty power is a thing, and if you have clean power, everything runs better. And then you do not have, things frying very often either because the power is clean. But that's for a whole nother video. I can talk about dirty power, clean power. Um, uh, yes, V, we got bunch of people, 75, 35 likes. If you are here, throw the live a like. That would be awesome. So other people will find it. I run a Jackery. This is Orange Outdoors says I run a Jackery 1000. That powers my Starlink Mini. When the family and I are on a trip, the Mini fits perfectly between my sunroof and the sunroof shade. Absolutely. Shannon does something similar, and there's a way to use suction cups to either suck it onto the underneath to your moonroof or your sunroof, or you can go the other way and suck it on from the outside. Whatever you prefer. It just depends on what you're doing. But yeah, that's just cool, right? It's just cool. And the thing is the dish keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, pretty soon we're going to remember. For a long time I said, listen, eventually you're not going to need a fully articulating head. Back with the version 2s, the generation 2s, you don't need the head, whereas it used to line things up. It would spin around and then line up just exactly where it needs to line up. I said eventually you won't need to do that anymore, and the reason being is there'll be so many satellites overhead, you don't need to point it anyway. And that's exactly what's happening today. You can take a SpaceX Starlink antenna, throw it completely flat on the ground, and you're going to see plenty of satellites. You don't have to angle it to the north if you're in the northern hemisphere, or angle it to the south if you're in the southern hemisphere. You just don't need to do it. So it's amazing where they've gotten, and that's only with 7,300 satellites, 72 and change, whatever. What's going to happen when they have 43,000? That's the goal. 43,000. 43,000 is a lot of satellites. And then there's going to be thousands that are going to be going around the moon. And then there's going to be thousands that will be in between here and Mars, acting as repeaters, right? There's a lot that's going to be going on. We're just in an age. You have to be glad to be alive because there's just so much cool shit going on that, I feel like we didn't have that. We had like this. Of course, when I was born, we were landing on the moon, right? 69. So, yes, that was absolutely amazing. But then after that, it went kind of dry until we started seeing the shuttles launch. And that was just cool shit, right? Just amazing. This plane would just, go off on a rocket and then come back and land like a plane. It's like, what is that? That's just crazy, right? So, yeah, that was big. But now we're living in times where you see a rocket launch up into space, come back down, and land within centimeters. This massive structure, like the size of a freaking building, landing within just millimeters. That is just sick. That is just think about the mathematics that go on in that, because all of the variables have to be in there. So I mean, you're talking about wind speeds and just any like it's just crazy, absolutely crazy. So, anyways, yeah, I digress as always do. Throw a damn kick, throw some legs at me. I get it. It's okay. Thank you, Mo, for the legs. I appreciate those for earlier. Mo, I'm doing good, bud. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Radioactive Text. We got what, 80 some people watching. That's pretty good. We got sometimes we'll see 100, sometimes 120. It just depends. 90. It depends on the week and and how, what's going on. Right now, there's not a lot going on when it comes to SpaceX, and the reason being is everyone's waiting for Starship again. And now that they blew up that motor, that just didn't bode well, and just, I don't know. It's okay. We'll see it by the end of this month. We're gonna see it. Um, let's see. Peter going to the doctor. Yes, yes. Peter is going to the doctor. He's had something he said with his blood pressure, some kind of I guess it's high. It could be low also, but some kind of blood pressure issue. Um, say a prayer over there for Peter. Make sure everything is going well with him. Let's see. Let's see. John says Starlink Mini. Someone made a third print or a 3D print using batteries in the Mini. If you do not have another option, yeah. So yeah, you could do that. But you don't need to do all. You don't have to go crazy with it. But that's all you need. Like someone was saying, you need a Jackery or an EcoFlow. Just plug the damn thing in, and that's it. And what's nice about that is then you just take it, throw it outside, open up like, I don't know, maybe 200 watts or 400 watts of solar, load that thing back up again, and you're good to go. So really, really good. Solar generators are really, really, really cool, especially now that lithos are so good. The lithium batteries are really, really good, where they last a long time in comparison to the old batteries. So let's see. Moving down here, moving down. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina. I would appreciate it and make it easier for me to find. Let's see. Jeffrey says I installed Perplexity this weekend. Excellent. On my laptop, and it's great. Yep, Perplexity is definitely cool. Definitely cool. Let me see. Can I go and take a look at this? Let me see. Uh, yeah, here. Perplexity. Um, so you guys can, if you guys want to go and check it out, you just go to Perplexity, basically Perplexity dot AI. Let me see if I can bring that up. Would it work? Does it work? Holy God, it did work. Okay. So that's what it looks like. And it is an LM. So like we can put whatever we want to ask in here. Like what was I saying before? Let me see. Take a guess at when the IFT, let's see, 9 Starship will launch. Let's see. Let's see what it says. We'll see what it says. Estimated launch. Let's see what it comes up with. What does it say? It says based on the most recent incredible information, SpaceX is targeting the second half of May. So, holy shit, that's what I said. The 20th to 25th. Well, there you go. What is it saying here? United States Coast Guard has issued a risk warning related to the rocket launch operations near Boca Chica, Texas, specifically mentioning May 19th. I said between the 20th and the 25th. So that's a pretty good guess, I guess, um, as the planned launch date, with a time window between 6:30 p.m. and 8:34 p.m. Central Time. The Coast Guard notice aligns with the broader launch window, outlining the latest local notice for mariners, which is obviously the case when it comes to boating, which spans between May 19th and May 28th. Once again, the end of this month. Additional FAA notices and updates, risk zone map, support the preparations for the final stages. Blah 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 blah. And if you come down here, it breaks it down into a really nice little chart. I mean, so there you go. So this is where. So let's take this same, like if you were to take this question, right? Maybe I should spell guess right. But anyways, whatever. We go into Google, right? And let's say we put this into Google and we hit enter here just to see what happens. So this is what Google pulls up. It still pulls up like similar information, but then what ends up happening is you end up with all of this, right? And then all this just crazy, just shit, just it's like a hot mess. I don't even know. Things are just I don't even know. So, anyways, what would you rather have? This when you do a search, right? Or when you do a search, you end up with this, with literally with a damn chart breaking it down. Source, okay? Because remember, this thing does citation, and that is so important. People don't understand how important citation is because you always hear verse and citation, verse and citation. Well, that's the whole thing. Google doesn't cite shit. They just say something and you just expect it to be correct, right? Whereas here it will tell you something, and here's your citation. Here's your source: U.S. Coast Guard notice, citation, local notice to the mariners. That's the L&M. Then you have Wiki for the space. So you follow me? So anyways, you can use this and once again, watch my video and I teach you exactly how to do it so that you can use it as your main search. And you don't even have to go to perplexity.ai. You just go into your search, you type it in and it automatically does it. So definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth checking out. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Shannon says, if you would like to enter to win a Starlink mesh thing, what he's saying is the little mesh mini thing. I will show you what it looks like in just a second. Send an email to sales at, now look at this, just double click on it. You see it? Baja Racing Gear com, BajaRacingGear.com before 7 p.m. Pacific time. Include contests in the subject and your YouTube handle. Please enter only if you can use one. So there you go. Shannon is going to be giving away a mini. That is so awesome, Shannon. That is so awesome. Let me find it. Let me see. What was it? Starlink mini router, $40, I think is what it was. Let's see. I'll bring it up so you can see what it looks like. Here we go. This is what it looks like. Oh, let me switch you guys over. Can you see this? So you see this right here? This is what it looks like. Let me click on it. Let me see. Here we go. Tesla Roddy is talking about it here. Let me go and open it in a new tab. Here you go. That's what it looks like. So that is what Shannon will be giving away tonight. Thank you so much, Shannon, for that. That's really, really appreciated. You don't have to do that, but I hope everyone will appreciate it. So that's how small it looks. It's super thin. And on the back, you have two ports, and it acts as a router. It's basically an AP, an access point. So what happens is when you install this and you have SpaceX Starlink, you set it up. Then you go into your SpaceX Starlink app and you go and you say, okay, let's set up a mesh network. Excuse me. It will search out for any other APs. It will find this and it'll say, hey, yeah, we found one. Do you want to use it in a mesh network setting? And you say yes. It will automatically configure itself automatically. And that's basically it. Now all of a sudden you have another one of these. And what's cool is it's powered through AC. So you plug it anywhere in your house and it will propagate the signal of your primary router. And if you had 10 of these, it would be propagating it like crazy throughout your house. You follow me? So that's what this thing does. Very, very cool. And they are definitely reasonably priced. And I mean, I think it's just absolutely awesome. And thank you, Shannon. Thank you. Someone is going to win one of these. They're going to win one of these. Um, let's see. Let me see. Yeah. They don't show the backside. Let me see if they have a picture of the backside. No. Anyways, just trust me. Shannon told me there is that on the back. You will see where you can actually plug it in on the back, which is definitely pretty cool, which is really cool. So you can use it for backhauling too. So anyways, so yeah, so that's that. Let's get back into some of these questions. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina before your question. Just make it easier for me to find. Let's see. Janish Rad says, do you think purchasing a refurb Mini is worth it right now? Or do you think a new Mini refurb? So, it really doesn't make a difference. A refurb Mini. Minis haven't been around that long. I'm just surprised that you can even find a refurb Mini. But if you can, if it's refurbished from a reputable source, then I'd say, yeah, just, sure, if the price is right. If not, you can just get a new one. They're not that expensive. And like I said, if you already have a main router, you're just looking to, let's say, add on to a mesh network, hell, just get these little mini things, these little mini routers for 40 bucks a piece that turn into APs, and you're pretty much done. Really super, super stupid simple. I mean, you can't get any more easy than that. It never was like that, but now they're cranking it up, guys. They're cranking it up. As a network guy, trust me, when I see this, it's just, man, people don't realize how big that is. Mark, let me see, or Mick. Mick says, that's exactly how I set up my Ubiquiti router and access points throughout my house. I ran Ethernet set up to the ports. Yeah, so that's basically backhauling. And yes, Ubiquiti allows you to do it. SpaceX Starlink didn't allow you to do it. Version 1 and version 2, you could not backhaul. So that was an issue. That was like a big issue at the very beginning. So moving on. Let's see. Sky Beetle says I'm using an Eros mesh. That works. Eros works. I'm not a fan of the Eros. We have a couple of Eros in the house, and I already went through two. Just decided to die. Then they stopped working. Maybe you have better luck than I do. They don't work very well. Bob is here. Bob Burke, thank you for being here from the Bahamas. Sounds really nice, Bob. I wish I was in the Bahamas. That's awesome. That is awesome. You're going to see some Falcon 9s launch overhead in the not so distant future. When is the next Falcon 9 launch? It's coming up. It is coming up. Thank you for being here, Bob. Appreciate you. Always appreciate you. Love, love, love the conversation. Um, let's see. I have to just say something real quick. This channel, not only do I absolutely love what I'm doing, right? I do love it. I love that we hit 100,000. We're at like 130 some thousand now. I love all that. But the thing that I really, really do like that, that you really can't put a price on is all of the community that we've built and all of the absolute beautiful people that are in this community. I feel blessed, to be completely honest. And it's such a powerful thing because, when you have a question or something, if I'm not there, that I can't answer it, and you end up asking a question in any of my videos, there's 1,000 plus now, whatever, you're going to get an answer, and it's not going to be a troll answer, which is it just really is amazing to me. So anyways, thanks everyone for the friendship, because that really does mean a lot. Trust me, it means a lot. Let's see. Moving on here, of course, we have Bob in the Bahamas. And let's see, moving down. If I somehow missed your question, once again, put at JCristina, makes it easy to find. Let's see, memorable places says how did I miss the Mini being available? When did that happen? Not that long ago, like a couple weeks ago or something. I did a video on it. Come on, watch my videos. Don't miss any. If you are signed up and you are a subscriber, click the notification button. And when you click that notification button, click all. And if you click all, YouTube won't remind you anyways. So just don't listen to anything I said. Yeah. It's supposed to. Let's just say that. YouTube's supposed to do its job, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't, guys. They don't. Let's see. Yeah, guys, don't forget, if you want to win one of those little mini routers, mini mesh network, thingamadoodles, as Shannon would call it. Make sure you send an email to sales at bajaracinggear.com. Once again, sales at bajaracinggear.com. Also, check out bajaracinggear.com. He's got a lot of cool shit over there. Go take it out. Go check it out. There's a lot of good stuff. A lot of good Starlink stuff over there. A lot of stuff for Baja. A lot of cool stuff. Let's see. Moving on down. Um, Alfonso says, I use a magnetic mount for the Mini on my truck. Yeah, I've heard people using the magnetic mounts. I was always fearful that the magnetic mounts would somehow interfere with the signal, right? Especially when you have like high powered magnets. Um, Let me know how it works. Alfonso, do me a favor. If you ever used it, with and without the magnets. Is there any, does the signal degrade at all by using the heavy duty magnets that hold it on? Let me know about that because I'm interested. I'm interested because I know, magnets will definitely interfere with RF, with radio frequency. It depends on the cycle and stuff. But anyways, I don't get too deep into it. So anyways, yes, Alfonso, let me know if your signal is better or the same using the magnet or not. If you just throw it there, let's just say. Let's see. Look at this. Look at this. Bob is saying hello from the Bahamas. He's getting 30 by about 30 by 300. And I guess the 40 is probably a ping. I'm going to guess 30 by 300 by 40. So that's amazing. Sitting in the Bahamas on a boat, okay, with 300 megabit down. It's freaking awesome. That is awesome. Can't beat that. Gotta love that. That's great. Question from WOT Clips. Let's see. Do you think they're going to get rid of the hot stage? So um, uh, the question is, do I think that SpaceX will get rid of the hot staging ring that's sitting in between your Starship and the Super Heavy? And the answer to that is yes and no. The current hot staging that they have going on with that ring that's on there, it's kind of like a band-aid for right now, and it works great, but it's not reusable, and it ends up getting like ejected, let's say, and it lands in the ocean somewhere or whatever. It's gone forever. It burns up. So that's the hot staging ring. They're going to eventually change that hot staging. Let's say the hot staging ring is like this. They're going to make a hot staging ring that's like this, and it's going to be built in. All right. So they're not going to lose it in every launch. So that's what's going to end up happening with hot staging. So I love seeing that because they're once again progressing. They're moving forward. They've been doing a lot. It's like if I went through a list of everything that they've been doing lately, it would be very, very long. There is a lot that's been going on. A lot. So that's that with the hot stage. Let's see. Yes. Here, let's see. Any other questions? Let me know here. What do we got? This is George. Says, I had a total facility power condition battery backup for a planetarium and production suite. Sweet. Have a planetarium? Come on, that is just too cool. Worked great and kept things online during any hurricane. Yep. Gave me time to turn off. Yeah. So, yeah, that's just awesome. You know, I used to work. So I'm a system administrator, right, on the side, right? I, I'm a dork. I'm a geek, and I used to work um, on a rack in a Boca building, right? And it was the old IBM building actually. And it was absolutely amazing. I used to work on a rack right next to Bell Atlantic's rack. Anyways, I can go into a whole long stories on all those. But anyways, what's really cool is that they had a room that was I would say about 3,000 to 4,000 square feet with racks of batteries and a half a foot of sand. So just think of a room that's like the size of a house, bigger than a house. okay, that has racks and racks and racks and racks just going through this room, and from jumper cable to jumper to jumper to jumper to jumper in this massive, massive location, right? Well, those batteries ran the entire IBM building for about 15 minutes. All those batteries, right? Just giving it enough time for the two massive 18 wheeler with like three diesel generators in each to fire up and then power that whole facility. But yeah, I love seeing different battery, backup and conditioners and stuff like that, because I used to work in this stuff all the time, and it's just amazing to me what was possible even back then. And that was prior to those are like lead acid batteries. That was prior to all the lithium stuff. So, anyways, I digress as always do. Let's see, let's see. Reminiscing about old stuff. Old stuff, guys. Old stuff. Let me see. Craig says, "Hey Joe, how you doing, Craig? I've been a long time watcher. Thank you. Appreciate that in the channel, and live in a rural area where I qualify for a free kit. Wow. I haven't found anyone that qualified for a free kit. That's awesome. I am an IT pro with we won't even say. Okay, that's fine. So, yes, would I ditch Xfinity? So, if you could actually get a free kit, I would say don't ditch Xfinity, but I would bring on SpaceX as a backup. So, because if you're in IT, you're like me, and you need to be online at any given time with good speed. That's just it, right? You need to be online. You can't have like downtime. There's gonna be a hurricane or a storm, whatever. So, I have three ISPs. So if you only have one currently and it's Xfinity, and you have the ability to get a free SpaceX Starlink kit, hell, get it and give it a shot. And what's really cool with SpaceX is if you don't like it, but you don't want to give it away because it was free anyways, you don't want to like sell it or something, because you could do that too, because there is a market for it. You could just put it on pause. And then if, let's say you're in a hurricane area, before hurricane season comes, turn it on again, right? And now all of a sudden you have a secondary or even a tertiary means of getting out there, right? Which is really, really important. Backup is everything. People don't get that. Some people do, some people don't. Two is one is none. If you have one of something, you might as well just forget it. You might as well not have one. So you need to have two of everything, sometimes three. It depends if you're if you're a maritime person or in aviation or in space, you're going to have two or three. You're going to have redundancy. Redundancy is next to godliness. You need to have redundancy. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty cool. If you got a free one, Craig, you're the first guy. You're him. You are him. The guy that got the free kit. That's freaking awesome. Like I said, I have not found anyone that got a free kit. You are the first. Very, very cool. Let's see. Let's see. Um, 83 Jeep says, "Are you using Pipewire?" I am not. F Pipewire. Um, yeah, I am not using Pipewire. I am not using Pipewire. So, so I know some of you guys are Linux guys out there, like myself. What I did is, I'll give you the short. Okay, 83 Jeep asked. I'm not using Pipewire. I'm not using, for this broadcast, we're not using Linux. I am using this. I'm using Fabiola's computer. This is a computer that normally she's answering your comments and talking to you guys with. So this is what I'm using. And it took me, like I said earlier today, a while to set it up, and it's set up and it works. The thing is that since Pipewire is such a piece of shit that it just aggravates the holy hell out of me, I just cannot find it in me to spend any more time with it. It just makes no sense to me. So, that being said, all gaming, all editing, all 3D CAD stuff, everything besides the stream is being done on a 34-inch monitor and a 27-inch monitor on a massive computer that's running Linux Mint 21 or 22.1. For this stream, for this kind of stuff, I'm going to start just using this, because guess what? If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't even freaking know. And it's working, and it's working well. If I have a problem, please let me know. If there's an issue tonight, let me know. This is like the first time that I've tried using this, and I've told a few of you guys about it. You know who you are. But this is the first time, and it's just freaking working. So, anyways, so that's what's going on as of right now. That is what's going on, which is good. I mean, for me, it's good. It makes me happy that I can actually work and not have to worry about, what a dev is doing or not doing. Developers aren't getting paid, so you can't, bitch at them continuously when they're not getting money for it. But anyways, so that's what's going on right now. Once again, let me know in the chat if there's any problem. Is there a problem with audio? Is there a problem with video? Any kind of problems at all? You let me know. Let's see. Yes, no version of Pipewire 83 Jeep, zero version of Pipewire. Let's see. John says, please sign me up for Starlink. Come on, John. John, you hate Elon. You couldn't get Starlink. John K. Wolf, I'm calling you out. You cannot stand Elon. You will not be able to, you would not take Starlink. You know how many people, I just think it's kind of odd though, because there's a lot of people out there that are just so crazy that absolutely hate Elon so much that they're actually selling their Teslas. And it just is, it baffles me because the greater majority of those people are people that are really into the environment. And the whole reason why they bought the Tesla to begin with, besides to be cool and to kind of, show off to their friends, but it's because of the whole ecology of things, right? The ecosystem and not stepping on toes of Mother Nature, let's say. So using, power that is battery instead of power coming from any type of fuel, no diesel, no gas, no nothing. And that was like a big thing. But a lot of these people, they didn't realize that to fill your tank, your battery, you're using gas, you're using coal. That's where all that electric is coming from anyways, unless you're right next to a nuclear power plant or something. Maybe you're next to 3 Mile Island somewhere, or you're whatever. But if not, your Tesla's still being filled with coal. It's still being filled with gas, natural gas. I mean, we have an FPL station right up the road from me, and it's really clean burning. And the reason being is it runs completely on natural gas. So the entire FPL plant just runs on natural gas, and that's all you see coming out the top is just mist, water vapor, basically. That's it. So there is ways, to keep, um, the environment good, but a lot of people have went down this road that they're selling their Tesla. The whole reason was they got the Tesla is because they wanted to try to do something for, you know, the ecosystem, right? Do something for the planet. But now they're not because they're upset with Elon. It's just weird to me. It's just absolutely weird. But I don't know. I don't know. Shannon with a gifted membership, 10 gifted memberships from Shannon. Say thank you to Shannon if you got a free membership. Juan, the right one. That's his name. Juan, the right one. I like that. TJ's astrophotography. Love astrophotography. Thank you so much for being here. You got a free membership from Shannon, Danny, Lloyd, Tom, Ricardo Verdes. You got a free membership, of course, Mark, Sheldon, Russell, and Chip. What's up, Chip? You got a free membership from Shannon. Thank you so much, Shannon. You're awesome, as always. Absolutely awesome. Um, let's see. If you got a free membership, please say thank you to Shannon. Let's see. Craig says, I've been, oh, we got to that one already. Reddit post, the questions are answered easier through threads. Yes, that's true. That's true. Reddit is a really good search means. People don't use Reddit a lot, but yes, there's a lot of good stuff on Reddit. Um, let's see. YouTube doesn't seem to have the tools. Yeah, YouTube needs some work. They need some. YouTube needs like a bunch of, like, I don't know, Just put like 10, 15 guys that are like complete nerds in a room with Doritos, just bags of Doritos and just tons of like, I don't know, Mountain Dews or any type of power drink, maybe some Red Bulls, and just let them start coding. Code the shit out of it because YouTube needs some coding. It needs some love. YouTube needs some love. Um, oh, here we go. Bob says 30 ping, 300 down and 40 up. All right, there you go. 30 ping. So Bob is on a boat. That's Bob on a boat. And he's getting 30 ping from the boat with 300 down and 40 megabits up. That is freaking awesome. Think about that. Um, John K. Wolf said he got 400 down with his Starlink. God, John, with the Starlink, I don't even know what to say. Let's see. I use Next Spaceflight app for Starlink launch information. That's a great app. I've heard about it. I haven't used it, but thank you for that, Mark. It's called Spaceflight app. Very cool. Dragon Eggs, thank you for being here. I'm flying at 35,000 feet, tuning in. I love it. I love it. Dragon Eggs says, when will Verizon team up with Starlink? Guys, Dragon Eggs is coming to us from 35,000 feet on a plane right now. Which plane are you on? Matter of fact, which plane are you on? I know a lot of the planes are starting to get SpaceX Starlink strapped onto them, so that's awesome. Anyways, when is Verizon? Um, Verizon, AT&T, they're trying to go with AST Space Mobile, all right, which is not a wise decision, but it's the contrarian methodology because they don't like Elon Musk, right? Also, T-Mobile has right now a stronghold on DTC. So we'll see what ends up happening with that, right? But as of right now, Verizon and T-Mobile, I mean Verizon and AT&T and T and all the rest of them, they do not have access to it right now. But that might not, that, down the road, that could change. I just don't know how long T-Mobile has the contract for, where they have the exclusivity of SpaceX Starlink. And I don't know, maybe one of you guys know. Let me know because I am not sure. Let's see. John took a comment away. John, if you have a comment, put it in there. No comment is a stupid comment. Let's see. No question is a stupid question, right? Let's see. We have a solar expert in the group. There you go, John. There you go, John. So John was writing something, and he's a solar expert. That's what I want to know. I like that. I like that. I'm not a solar guy. I mean, I know a little bit, but John, if you know, let us know. Tell people what's what. What's what when it comes to solar? Let's see. Michael, solid stationary magnets shouldn't interfere. Pulsing fields and solid magnetic motion are different. Just don't put your ATM card near them. Yeah, your ATM card, put your phone near it, anything, just be wiped. That'll be it. So yeah, I didn't know that. So I guess stationary, like just even a strong, there's a lot of really strong magnets. But if you guys didn't know, the majority of the magnets come from Asia, right? So there's a problem getting magnets right now, and they're really expensive. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna get into all that. That'll go down a whole nother rabbit hole. My strongest download was 447 this morning. That's from Mark. Holy shit, that is fast. I'm not getting those speeds. Let's see. At 29 Palms, California. Sweet. Let's see. Is the Mini rated for outdoor use? So, Mark, excuse me, Memorable Places is asking if that Mini router, which is an AP or an access point, is rated for outdoor use. The answer is no, it is not. Um, so keep that in mind. It is not. So that being said, you would have to use something else outdoors, but indoors, it's fine. It's fine. It's basically an AP. That's it. It's just an access point. It works great, and you would have no problem with it at all. And what's nice about those minis is you can go and connect like, yeah, I think it was 10. or more. 30? I don't know. It was some crazy number that you could actually connect in a mass mesh network. So if you had, a 5,000 square foot, bottom and make a 10,000 square foot home, 1,000 downstairs, 1,000 or 5,000 downstairs, 5,000 upstairs, something like that, you'd still be able to do it without a problem. Just using those $40 minis. That's just crazy. Absolutely awesome. Let's see. Gallagher has a question, but why do you keep AT&T? It's so doo-doo slow. Yes, we don't have AT&T. AT&T is gone. We got rid of AT&T. We have currently SpaceX Starlink. We have that fiber connection. We also have the T-Mobile home internet. So we have three connections. So I don't care. There can be an act of God that happens. One way or another, we're going to be live when it comes to the connection. I don't know about the computers and shit, but as far as the connection, we should be connected one way or another. Something is going to be able to connect. And like I said, I'm using the Raspberry Pi with a failover. So if Starlink goes down, then the next ISP goes down, and then the third ISP will pick up, and then come back round robin to the beginning. So yeah, we shouldn't have a problem. Let's see. Okay, moving on. So just so you guys know, everything above where Bob Berg said that he was getting 30 ping, 30 ping, 300 down, 400 up. From that point backwards, I can't see it anymore. YouTube dumped itself. It literally crapped the bed, and that's as far back as I can go. So I can't go any further back. This is the kind of stuff. Once again, that's why I said, YouTube really needs to get a bunch of guys on there and really fix the thing because it's busted, and it doesn't matter what I say. I mean, I can say whatever, but I'm just some guy, I'm nobody. So, but yeah, it's really shites, really, really shites. Um, let's see. John says, why, if my down speed is slower, my upload speed is faster? Yeah, that's something that a lot of people, always ask, and that usually is a case. It doesn't happen as much with Starlink, but it can. It has to do with like what the maximum capacity is that you can send, receive, and if one drops, then the other one has the ability to stretch its legs a little bit, and that most of the time that has to do with things that are happening, let's say, behind the scenes when it comes to doing it, I don't want to get into anything like really, really advanced, but the bottom line is whenever you do any type of QC or quality control stuff and you're trying to do any kind of load balancing, it's like a behind the scenes thing to kind of balance things off, right? So that sometimes has something to do with it. Sometimes it doesn't. It just happens that way. But when you're dealing with networks, that happens a lot. When you see the download speed go down a lot, all of a sudden you have more on the upload speed. It happens. Alfonso says, I haven't noticed much of a signal variation speed stable. The speeds are stable with and without the magnets. So that's really, really good. So just like someone else said, the magnets didn't matter. It doesn't have a problem seeing through that magnetic field, let's say. Let's see. Michael said, or was writing over here. We already went through the 10 folks with the, let's see, Mo with a whole bunch of kicks. I like that, Mo. Thank you so much, Mo. Um, Galagirl says, when is the chicken farm live? Yeah, I need to do that, right? There's there's not that many chickens left. We have some doves and we have about 3, 4 chicken left. I don't know. We used to have so many. It was crazy. Absolutely. Um, what does the time look like? Let's see. Shannon. Hey guys, don't forget to email Shannon over there, right? If you want to be in the running to get one of those SpaceX Starlink little mini APs or access points, Shannon's getting one away. So definitely put that address once again, Shannon, into the chat. Maybe just copy paste it in there every like 5 minutes or something so people can find it. Let's see. Moving down here, moving down. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina before your question. Makes it easy. Makes it easy. Here's one from Craig. Says, thank you. I'm in Arizona. No hurricanes yet, definitely. Just loose. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, we're down here in Florida. We get all the hurricanes down here. It's crazy. Pulling the trigger and using your code. Awesome. Really appreciate that. Thank you for using the code, Craig. If you do buy SpaceX Starlink and you use my code, if you go to JCristina, this is what Craig's talking about. If you go to jcristina.com/Starlink, once again, jcristina.com/Starlink. Matter of fact, let me just type it in here. It's jcristina.com/Starlink. There it is. If you go there, what ends up happening is SpaceX gives me a free month and they give you a free month just for doing that. So if you're buying a SpaceX Starlink, do that. And once again, both of us will get a free month. Um, Once again, these people do not give me anything. That's it. That's my big payoff, right? Is being like, I don't even know. I wouldn't even call it an affiliate. I don't know what you'd call that. But yeah, I get a free month and you get a free month. That's how that works. Let's see. Is the new editor in the chat? That's a good question. Is the new editor? We do have a editor that has been helping me out, and some of the videos that you see are edited by me, and some are edited by the editor that we have. Div is his name, and he's doing a really good job. And it's just, whenever you have someone new that comes on board that's working with you, they have to kind of learn the way you do things and what you like and what you don't like. And, it's a learning process. So, as he's doing more and more edits, each time I just told him, matter of fact, it was this week, I'm like, this is your best edit. So it's like each edit just gets slightly better. Each one is a little bit better. So, what I'm really having him do as much as possible is put a lot more B-roll in the video, because like when I just do a talking head, it just sucks just looking at this puss for freaking 10 minutes, right? So it'd be nice to have some B-roll going, some background, so you can see shit going on, you know what I mean? So that's the whole idea. And it's impossible for me to do it and be able to still put out the amount of content that I want to and still be able to edit, because the amount of time that it takes. So yes, we onboarded an editor. There was about 2 or 3 or 4, I don't know. They kind of applied, let's say, and sent over. And this guy was really good. And the thing that I liked about him is he was very willing to learn. And so, if there's something that I've been doing for the last 10, 15 years, I just recently made a video for him on how to take like some of my wrinkles, because I'm like an old dude, right? And kind of blur, like you would see on, like, I don't know, MSNBC or Fox News or something, and kind of blur some of the skin, because you're at 4K. At 4K, it's like you can see every hair in my beard and stuff, right? So I taught him how to do that. And there's like little things. And if there's something that he needs, and I'll just kind of do a video. I'll do a how-to, just like if I was doing a YouTube video, I'll send it to him. So, but anyways, yeah, let me know, guys. How's he doing? You'll probably be able to know if you see a video of mine that has a lot of B-roll in it. It's not me, because I don't have a lot of time to do it. If there's a lot of B-roll, then it's him. Let's see. Moving down here. Dutch Linux says, if you want to use Mac, then I'll stop wasting time on the project. You know what? Dutch Linux, listen, I really appreciate you working on that project for Pipewire. I do. And maybe it's something that I can still test out, but don't just do it for me, do it for the community. I really do appreciate you working on that Pipewire thing that will fix the absolute screw that the devs have going on, that's rooted like low level. Um, but if this Mac would just simply do it, this little laptop, then I don't need to go and just beat myself over the head with a brick. It just makes no sense, right? Just, if you want to keep working on it, I will definitely beta test it. I'll definitely check it out. But if you do keep on doing it, just understand that you're actually doing it for the community. And if you actually fix Pipewire, that is such a big piece of ass, okay? Um, People will be raving, shouting your name from the tops of buildings. So Dutch Linux, just keep that in mind. Okay, it would be a really, really, really good thing for the entire community, regardless. So I hope that helps. And once again, I really appreciate you and all that you do. It's definitely important. Um, let's see. Mo says the reason why is because they're affiliates with Trump. Nobody likes a ruthless emperor. God, people just got scared because of this. There you go. So, yeah, um, yeah, yeah. They're scared because of the ruthless emperor. I don't know. I don't know. I can't get down with that, but it is what it is. Everyone has their own thoughts on it. I get it. I get it. Um, let's see. 83 Jeep says Dutch Linux over to Dutch Linux. So you got a response over there. Was looking at the Pipewire Git. It's actually GitHub or GitLabs. Yeah. Issue and fixing in the version 1.4, but did not see Joe's issue listed. Yeah, the problem is they're not going to fix it. They're too busy, doing UI stuff and just stupid stuff, not fixing stuff that's important. If you don't think that an analog to digital converter, bringing in two mics into a setup is important, well, you're not thinking very clearly, because the number of podcasts out there is massive at this point. And the only way, even if we do, like when I do episodic TV, let's say, right, and we go on set and we set things up, we're using these Scarletts, right? Absolutely love the Scarlett. We're using Scarletts, either 4i4s or the 8 by 8 or the 8i5, 8i8s, but they're awesome. Why? Because they work out really good. Okay. But even if you do use a Scarlett or something like that, and you use $1,000 mic, a Sennheiser, right, and an MHK 416 like I have here, it doesn't matter if Pipewire is a big piece of ass and it's just shit. So what ends up happening is it doesn't really make a difference. Is people, they have to fix it, and they won't fix it even though they don't understand how big deal it is. So the thing is you can't use multiple mics through Pipewire properly. It just doesn't break them apart the right way, and it breaks everything. So that's the basis. Some people don't know why I always talk as I do with the about Pipewire. That's what Dutch Linux was trying to fix. And that you won't even see the problem listed. It's just like it's almost like it doesn't exist, and it does. It doesn't work. And I'm a guy that knows this shit inside and out. And yes, I can make it work if I go, low level and actually start doing my own. I'm not doing that. I don't have time for it. So anyways, so instead of getting too deep into it, but that's kind of the skinny behind it. Speed Racer, welcome, premium sub. Speed Racer. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Bob on the boat. Using Starlink is cool. Yes. I love it. It's Bob on the boat. Bob's awesome. Love Bob. Absolutely love Bob. Let me see. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear. I guess I meant if you foresee a new mini coming up soon. I know the GB Resonance. I was wondering what to push the new mini. Yeah, so I'm really not sure. There is that are let's see. There's new routers that are coming, and there's also new antennas that are coming. The new antennas are going to be the newer antennas are going to be coming that are going to be doing gigabit. And that's right around the corner. So there's a lot of new stuff coming. I always tell people, look, if you could do what you do with what you got, stick with what you got, because this is such a fledgling industry that they are not just iterating, they are innovating at the speed of light. So it's like this continuous churn. So don't follow every single time they like come out with something new. You just don't need to. Okay, just hang tight. Especially right now, we're going to start seeing the version 3 satellites up there as soon as SpaceX finally doesn't get the Starship from blowing its ass up. Okay, they're going to be putting those version 3 satellites up there. Things are going to just turn around on a dime. Things are going to get so crazy good, you're not even going to believe it. There's not going to be any more waiting lines. The latency is going to go down below 20 milliseconds. You're going to get faster download. You're going to get faster upload. The people that have corporate plans and have the bigger dish, they're going to be getting gigabit speeds. This is all in the pipe. So, like I said, don't jump at anything unless you need it. Now, when we're talking about these little $40 little Tic Tacs, these things are freaking awesome. For $40, get a bunch of them. And like Shannon said, he's going to give one to someone tonight. So once again, send an email over there to Shannon. Definitely put that out there, Shannon, every once in a while so it pops up, the email address. Baja Racing, what is it? Baja Racing, some.com. So do that for me, Shannon. Put that out there so they can keep emailing you. Let's see. Mick is here. I'm under Tennessee Valley Authority. Okay. And they're going to primarily natural gas. There you go. Yeah. We got natural gas here too. We're literally right up the road. We're going natural gas for the electric provisioning. So that's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty damn clean. I mean, natural gas is very clean. Let's see. Here's one from Johnish Rad says, but my parents took over it after Helena. Yeah, so you were in the aftermath of Helene. Yeah, we got a little bit down here in South Florida, but not as much as up north. God, you guys got crushed up there. Thank you. I am a solar and BB professional. Sweet. Anyone need help North Carolina? Let me know. Awesome. Thank you for that, John. That is cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, moving down. If you have a question, put it in at JCristina. At JCristina. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We got Speed Racer with that premium membership. That's awesome. Shannon says there's 5 more minutes. Don't forget to enter, guys. Don't forget to enter. Win one of those minis. Shannon, I want to know who ends up winning. I want to know who wins, and then maybe on Friday we can do like a little announcement on who ends up winning. Unless we can do it tonight. Depends on how many people show up and actually do it. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. William says, "Hey JC, Dragon Slayer here. Let's see. 80-year-old Marine. Thank you so much for the service. I'm trying to keep my mind sharp. Your channel is part of my routine. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. The newest part of the newest part is trashing the Microsoft equipment and learning Apple iOS. That's awesome. So there you go. 80 years old, dumping Billy the Kid over there. He's not even around anymore with it, but whatever. With Microsoft, dumping Microsoft, going with and learning Mac or iOS, Apple iOS. That's awesome. That is awesome. Doesn't matter how old you are. This stuff is for everyone. This is great. This is good learning. And yes, it keeps your mind nice and tight. You know, figuring out, solving problems. Really, really good. Let's see. Moving on. Once again, at JCristina. At JCristina. Let's see. I switched browsers from Safari to Brave. Yes, a lot of people, Mo, have went to Brave. Brave is really cool. DuckDuckGo is cool too. It just depends on what you're trying to do. A lot of there finally there's some alternatives that aren't crap. That don't suck, which is nice. I like to see it. George says, when I was a kid, I witnessed fiber right in front of me to connect, the Air Force Base. It's funny. Like people don't realize that how long fiber's been around. Fiber's been around for a long, long time. It's just they just finally started pushing it out. And it used to be, remember, it was all Corning. It was all like, it was like one company making the fiber and it was so freaking expensive. It was just crazy. Now it's like fiber isn't really that expensive anymore. And they're making it by the crap ton of it. So they need to run it, is what they need to do. They need to run it. Please add some peak emojis. I like it. Some poop emojis. Like the T-Rex. Loving it. Thundering and lightning here. That's Ricky Joe. Stay safe. Stay safe. Yeah, our weather is pretty good right now. Our weather isn't too bad. As soon as I say it, all of a sudden it'll all break loose, in Florida. You know how it goes. You know how that is. Um, Shannon, thank you so much for the super chat. Chicken fund. We need a chicken fund. Let's see. And you have an email that's come over to me. Let me go and check that email. There was a couple of email that come in. So let me look. Let me look. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to check. While I'm checking here, Shannon, if you didn't put that address, or is it already done? Let me see here. Hopefully this is working. What do we got here? Oh, the spinning wheel. Spinning wheel. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Okay. Let me switch over. So let me go and do this. Did it work? Yes. So check this out. This is already populated with everyone that wrote into Shannon. And we're using the spinning wheel. This spin the wheel. We used it I think we used it, I think at the end of last year or something. Um, we're going to spin this thing and we're going to see exactly who wins the the mini, the mini. So let's see. Let's go ahead and give this thing a spin. Are we ready? Are we ready? Let's do it. Here we go. Let's spin it up. Let's spin it up. Who is the winner? There we go. Craig Daters won. Craig Daters won. There it is. Shannon. There is the winner. There is the winner. Craig Daters won. That is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Listen, listen. That is just so cool that Shannon has the ability to do this, and it's just so. I mean, what a blessing. What a blessing. So if you are, contact Shannon right now because he's probably going to end up getting your address and there you go. There you go. Craig already wrote in there. Woo! Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Shannon ends up pulling it out, and Craig ends up the winner. That is so awesome. So awesome. Let me see if there's anything else that he said. Use this one. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right. Got it. All right, that is so so cool. That is cool. Thank you so much for that, Shannon. That is awesome. That is awesome. See, you guys hung out, and there you go. Someone just won. That is so cool. Let me see here. Let me see. Once again, if you have a question, put at JCristina. 83 Jeep says Pulse Audio. It works, and all my apps use it. Yes, absolutely. Pulse Audio has been working for decades. Pulse Audio and Jack. Um, but every single Linux distro, let's say 85% of Linux distros are moving, uh, converting everything to Pipewire. And, you know, Pipewire has some really good stuff, involved in it, but there's stuff that's broken too. And they don't fix it. And that's the problem that I have with it. So, it is what it is. So, yeah, let's see, let's see, let's see. Happy Friday from Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Let's see. Ricky Joe says, why are most of the canned goods out of stock at the local grocery store? I don't know. That's a good question. Right now, I was just at the grocery store today and all the canned goods were there. If you're seeing a stock problem of canned goods, that doesn't forebode, that does not bode well. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Maybe it hasn't hit Florida yet. I don't know. Unless the specific canned goods are coming from China. They're not, I tell you what, nothing's coming in from China. They're backing up boats deep, deep, and I'm excited for it. I've always said, I said this from the very beginning, and I personally think that the tariff on China should be 2, 3, 400%. Um, basically it's like so that if they want to bring something to the country, they just have to pay 4 times the cost. I think that'd be good because they've been raping us for so damn long. And the thing is like, even though they're like saying just the other week, I think it was last week or this week, they said, oh, we're going to take off like 25% of this, that, or whatever. You know what? If I was the administration, I'd be like, no, you keep your 25%. We're going to keep charging you 200% or whatever it is. And that's it. And I would have that go on for at least 6 to 9 months. I know people in the US are going to feel it. I know Amazon is going to lose their shit because Amazon sells so much Chinese shit that's all their junk version, right? All of their essentials and all the rest of this stuff. That's all from China. So they're going to lose a lot of money. And a lot of people are going to have a hard time buying batteries and shit like that. And that's just the way it is. But I think that if China was to feel the pain for 6 months, for 9 months, they would never, when I say never, let me never, never do it again. Never, never, because they're going to have to, if this embargo, basically, if this massive amount of, let's say, 2, 3, 400% charge on all stuff coming in, their tariff was to go for 6 to 9 months, they would be firing, they'd be laying off millions of people, and all of the stuff that they're making would literally just sit on their docks, piled up like the size of skyscrapers with nowhere to go. That's it. So I think that they need to feel the pain. They need to feel the pain so that this doesn't happen in the future. Because, just doing it for a week or two or whatever, and just, you can't do that. It's got to be for real. That's my personal opinion. But I know we'll all hurt if that does happen. I know we will all hurt, and I get it. And some people can't afford to hurt, and I understand that too. But anyways, I digress. We're going into China. I know, I know. Let's see. Moving on, I received the Dark Moon tea order this week. Fireside is my favorite. Kevin, you got my Dark Moon tea. If you guys don't know, I make 5 different teas. I make Dark Moon tea and I make Focus and all the rest of the teas that you hear me talk about, right? There's like 5 of them now. And also I make a really, really good chocolatey one. Um, anyways, Kevin's favorite is the Fireside. If you don't know what Fireside is one of my favorites too. It uses like a lapsang, like it uses like a green tea that is dried over smoke, all right, like pine. And so what happens is it all organic, all natural, non-radiated, no shit. If matter of fact, sometimes it'll take 2 weeks for someone to get their tea from me, and the reason being is there's one ingredient that I can't get that needs to be organic. I won't get it has to be organic. It has to be not radiated. It's got to be all good stuff. If not, I'm not going to sell it to you. So anyways, all my teas are like that. Anyways, so Fireside is that smoky, you literally, it tastes smoky. If you like smoky, you will love Fireside. If you don't like smoky, you will hate Fireside. It's like literally cozying up to like a fire, right? A campfire or something. It's yeah. Kevin, I'm glad that you enjoyed the Fireside on the Dark Moon teas that I make. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you for your support. It's always appreciated. Let's see. Moving down here, moving down. Shannon says, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to fire that shit up. Okay. Let's do it, Shannon. Let's do it. Let's do it. Before I pull my cord, let me see if I can go back. Before, normally I wouldn't have my headphones on, but I was going to go on to some websites and stuff for you guys, but I decided not to. All right. I decided not to. There's so much questions going on. Anyways, so we're going to fire it up. If you guys know what this is a Block 1 Starship. Okay. Block 1 Starship. It looks like this massive one that you see back there. But this one, a flame comes out of it. And usually when I launch this thing, my wife's sitting here and she has to back away because if not, I'll light her hair up on fire and do like a Michael Jackson or something. Okay. So, anyways, we're going to fire it up and we'll see if we get a little torch or if it blows this big torch out. So, we'll see. Here we go. Ready? Jeez. That was a pretty good one. I love this damn thing. So this is a version 1, right? So this is the Block 1. The Block 2, as you can see here, you see these flaps? The Block 2, the flaps are tucked back like a dog running through the wind. And these flaps come in at about 30 degrees. Like so it's by 100, 130, 150 degrees or so altogether. So anyways, they're tucked in. And the reason why is because when they were coming in like this, belly first, these flaps, if you remember, they would get so hot that plasma would start pouring off them until it'd start burning holes right in the metal. And so they ended up tucking them back, and they found that even though they're tucked back by that like 30 degrees tuck, they can still work and now control roll and control the ship, but it has less let's say likelihood of just getting burnt to a crisp as it's coming in like this, right? Because that's how it comes in. It comes in belly first. Because if the thing barrel rolled over to the other side like this, there's no heat tiles on this side, it would just explode, right? The same thing with the space shuttle. Remember how the space shuttle comes in always like this? Because this whole underbelly is full of those tiles, right? So that's one thing that I just can't wait for this next launch because there's so many things that they have iterated upon, and innovation has happened with the Block 2. The Block 2 keeps blowing up because there's so many things that changed. The size of the rocket changed. It's taller. The amount of propellant that can be held inside the rocket is 25% more. That's more. So there's a lot of stuff that has changed. The angles of the flaps. There's just a lot. There's a ton of different things, and it's it's just they screwed it up. So there's going to be a Block 3 that they're working on already. That's going on right now. So we'll see what happens. I want to see this thing go up, and then we'll be able to see all of the. They even have tiles that instead of being ceramic tiles, they have actively cooled tiles, kind of like think of your CPU in your computer, right? And so you have your CPU here, and then you have like a piece of highly conductive material. Okay, let's say you have a water cooled machine. So let's say copper, and you put that copper plate over the CPU, and then you have liquid running through the copper plate, behind the copper plate, right? That's considered active cooling. You're actively cooling it in comparison to taking like a piece of ceramic and sticking it to your CPU, and now it just dissipates. So they're testing out active cooling also. So there's just so much cool shit that's going on in the next one. I cannot wait for it, but we just keep on waiting. So according to what we read, according to what is it? Perplexity said, was it like I predicted, what, the 20th, maybe 19th, 20th of this month. So not that far away. Hang out with me for that. Thank you, Speed Racer, for that super chat. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Shannon with 10 more free memberships. Shannon, just stop tonight. Stop. That is so nice. Thank you, Shannon. Craig, Steve S, Stephanie, who else? James, Mark G, Joseph, Joe, Epic, all you guys. You guys got free memberships. Say thank you to Shannon. Say thank you to Shannon. And also, prayers out for Peter. Peter's normally here, and he's off. I think he's at the doctor or something. He has something with his blood pressure. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, he's okay. So we will hopefully either see him by the end of the night. If not, we'll see him on Friday. Hopefully, everything's good. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Question. Let's see. Like, here we go. George says my brother is the head of a head computer tech at a research facility. They had bought some home in historic Pensacola. Really, really, Pensacola. Next to connecting that was with a microwave works. That is so cool. That is really cool. See, there's always perks of being involved with nerds. Jim Reed, thank you for being here. Says, if it wasn't for Elon Musk innovating at an incredible pace, the world is better. Yeah, the world is definitely better. So yeah, what do you think? I think so. I think so. I mean, it, people always look at the bad things that Elon does, right? And the bad things are not really bad because it's always just exaggerated, in my personal opinion. But if you think about how many lives Elon Musk has saved with either DTC service or just simply with SpaceX Starlink in areas that have destruction occurred, any type of natural disaster, volcanic, hurricanes, wartime, whatever. How many lives were saved with SpaceX Starlink? It would be probably tens of thousands. So, yes, what he's doing is definitely, it's a good thing. Okay. And that's why, to me, he's a billionaire that does good for the most part, where most billionaires are not. That's just the truth, behind it. So, but everyone has their own view on it, and the Doge thing definitely was difficult for a lot of people to handle. People didn't want to see Elon having, any type of control over anything and being able to see what's going on in the government and all the rest of the stuff. And I get it. I get it. But for me, I look at it a different way. If Elon didn't do it, who would do it? That's the question. If Elon wouldn't do it, if he didn't do it, then who would do it? I don't know. Nobody. And they would just keep talking about it for decades, in probably in perpetuity. We would hear about it, and nothing would ever happen. And all of this just waste. I mean, how much money did they find so far? Was it I think it's over $1 trillion or something. Just these it baffles me, the money that our government spends. And the thing is the money that they spend is not their money, it's our money. So when we send in taxes, we have these people that decide where to put the money. And when they go and put money in stupid ass shit that we just keep on paying, it's like you got to look at it and say, maybe it's not a good thing. So I do like that they're figuring out where a lot of this money and spending is going. Peter is here. What is going on, Peter? What is going on? Are you back? Says finally made it back. I hope everything go well with the doctors. Thank you for those free memberships for everyone. Listen, there is Peter just gave out, what is it, 26 free memberships. Or somewhere. Oh no, it's 21. No, excuse me, 21 months for membership. That was what Peter has enough so far as a pre-member, a premium sub. But then 5 memberships he just gifted. So if you are John, Dino, or I guess it's Johan, maybe, I don't know, Ted. And if you are any of those folks, and as well as Niall Rays, listen, say thank you to Peter. So, Peter, how are you doing? Tell us. I know you said you went to the doctor and had to do with blood pressure and stuff. So I was hoping everything was doing well. Let's see. George says, to fuel any butane lighter, put the lighter in the freezer before refueling. I didn't know that. Need a temperature differential. Yeah, I mean, temperature differential makes sense. Yeah, I like it. Okay, we'll do that. Let's see. Moving on. A lot of people saying, howdy. How you doing, Peter? Peter's back. Peter's in the house. Thank you, Peter. Let's see. 83 Jeep said I replaced Pipewire with Pulse Audio on my Linux 22.1, which is my same system, and all apps work with it. That's awesome. See, that's good to know. There you go. I might do it. I might do it anyways, regardless. Let's see. Question: when do we get the dark web tour? Yeah, that's a good question. A tour of the dark web. How would I do that? Mhm. Yeah. So, all right. Um, some people know what the dark web is, some people don't. But if you're going to start mingling around in the dark web and kind of, putzing around, as I call it, build a VM, a virtual machine, build a box, install Linux or something on one of these, stick that in your computer, and then boot off this, and then screw around in the dark web, whatever you want to do. Then format this, and then put the same image back, and then do it again. All right. You don't want to get anything nefarious, let's say, onto your computer to go and screw you up. All right. So, you don't want to, stick your head into, you know, uh, a we don't want to be graphic. Let's just say be careful, all right, when you're playing around the dark web. And I don't know exactly how I would even be able to broadcast that or record it. I'd probably have to install like OBS or something on that virtual box and then do whatever I do and then take that video and then transfer it all over. I don't know. Not an easy thing to do. Not an easy thing to do. Let's see. Let's see. Moving on here. Let's see. Do. Okay. Once again, hey, listen, guys, it is coming up to 2 hours. So do me a favor. Any other questions that you have, put them in there now. I'll probably hang out for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something. So just stick them in there. And if you have any questions about anything, any of the videos I did, the one about the exploding SpaceX Starlink, SpaceX's engine, all that kind of stuff, or anything about the let's say Elon Musk SpaceX Mars portal that I did a video on, which is basically Starbase City, and then the green lighting of the 25. I can't even believe they green lighted 25 SpaceX launches of Starship per year, when before they were only authorized for 5 launches per year. Now they're able to launch up to 25. That is awesome, guys. That is awesome. Things are going to start picking up. I'm telling you. Let's see. Any question, guys? Stick them in there. Let's see. Dronoki says I stepped away for a while. Where can I get one of the new routers? So the new routers. This is for Drone Oki. Those new routers, those little minis, they're available. You can get those, I believe, right from their website. So just go log on to their website with your account, and you should be able to see it. It should pop up. We want a dancing Elon. Let's see. Let's do it. There we are. We got dancing Elon. All right. We got dancing Elon, but hold on. This is, I would call it wavingly Elon, right? But we could definitely add Jeff Bezos. All right. We put Jeff Bezos in there. That's a good way to kind of complete the show. All right. Jeff Bezos is there. And that is no bullshit. So yeah, we'll stick that in there. Yeah, just so you know, like all of the stream decks and stuff that we have, I had to reprogram all of them with all of this stuff from scratch when I did the move. It was like it was a lot. It was a lot. And that's why this week was a hard one this week, but I'm glad it's done, and it's just working. Once again, guys, there's about 60, 70 of you guys still left. Listen, how was the video today? Any hiccups? How was the audio? How was everything? Any issues? Let me know, because it's important for me. This was once again the very first live JC Live using the new setup. So if there's any problems, I like to kind of address them right away. And I do want to have someone on, like we had Shannon on. It was, I believe, last week. Shannon, I think you were here last week on. I like to have other people on too. So we can have Shannon on. We can have anyone else that wants to hang out on a Friday and go live, and we could just hang out. And maybe it'll be me and Fabiola and you, whoever you will be. But you can send me an email. Go over to the JCristina.com site and then go to contact, and then just send me an email and say, hey, I wouldn't mind being on the show, and I'd like to talk about X or whatever, or just want to hang out with you guys and talk this, that, or whatever. So, definitely send something in, and maybe we can get some folks on here. And if there's something that you do that is, in this industry that is specific, that will, let's say, a lot of people would enjoy. Like not that long ago, we had someone on that was a really great guy, and he did ham radio. And he was just awesome. And he talked about the ham radios and how they were used for backups, where SpaceX Starlink might not be able to reach for whatever reason. The ham operators are the lifeline still of the U.S. even to this day. So in case of an emergency, those ham radio operators are going to be fielding a lot of calls and doing a lot of heavy lifting, especially for like 911 when 911 is no longer around if there is that problem. So let's see, Peter says, I'll be okay. Just need to stress more, or I guess de-stress more. Also send you an email and need a small bit of help with Linux. Okay, no problem, Peter. Send me over an email. We'll definitely get to it tomorrow. Let's see. Gallagher says, I use the doo-doo tablet. Yes, that would work. You can use a doo-doo tablet. You could do it. Just clear it out, clear it out, so you don't go and, get the doo-doo onto your important stuff. You don't want to do that. Let's see. Alt web browsers. Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm still a fan. I'm a fan of. There's some good browsers out there. I mean, a lot of people use DuckDuckGo still. It does a pretty good job. Brave. Good job. There's some good ones out there that you can use for sure. Let's see. Ricky Joe says, did you know Dodge Avenger SC cars have 15 different computers? And I was shocked when Advanced told me that. Yeah, and what people don't understand is the majority of the computers on these cars too, they're all running Linux, a form of Unix of one sort or another. People don't know that either. Just on like the satellites alone, there's countless computers. Even on like the Starship, every single Starship computer that's on the Starship, they're all running Linux. They are their own. Obviously, they created their own extremely fast, low latency kernel, but it's still a version of Linux. No matter what, the base is still Linux, which is really, really cool. People don't know that. They think that like Windows is the end all be all, and it's really not. Let's see, Doyle Van, welcome to the premium sub. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Craig's got that star now. Look at that star. Craig. I'm really excited to get started with that Starlink, and I already ordered the cable mounting kit. I forgot when I ordered the service. That is so cool. That's so cool. And now you have a free from Shannon, I believe, right? You got the mini. Let's see. Peter says, I'd love to hang out, but my internet sure so. Yeah, so yeah, some people have a problem with going live or doing like a hangout because their internet is not good. So, that's always a thing. I mean, SpaceX Starlink worked good for me. I was using it for quite some time, and we were doing, now I have 3 ISPs, obviously, and we never go down. If we go down, I don't even know. There's been like some act of God somewhere, because we're doing from satellite. We have a ground connection, and then we have a T-Mobile, tower connection. So, if they all go down, I think it's the end of the world. I think we're pretty much done. I think we're pretty much over at that point. But yeah, check out that connection. If you can get decent speed, Peter, come on, and I'll set you up. We can hang out. Let's see. George says, have you ever visited the Walt Disney retirement community in Orlando? I have not, but I've visited Orlando since 1971. So I've been there like forever, right? And I've seen everything that's changed, and there's been a lot of changes that happened in Disney. But yeah, I love it there. I really do like Orlando. The only thing is when you live in Orlando, or if you're there all the time, you're dealing with a lot of tourism, right? So it's just, everyone's a tourist. So it's like you have some friends, or you have some people that around you, then everyone else is like a tourist, right? So, that's just kind of the way it is. Let's see, Mick says, have you considered having a physical meet for us at Boca Chica, Texas during a Starship? So, Mick, I was we were thinking about doing a meetup, like a meet and greet. I mean, once we hit 100,000 subscribers, that was like a big time, and I was thinking about doing a meetup in Fabiola. My wife was figuring out like where we can go, and it's something that I really want to start looking into. And I think that a good way to do it is to do a meetup at a hotel, let's say, that is like a big hotel. It could be like a casino hotel or just like a big hotel or convention center hotel. Maybe get a room or something there that, you know, we can rent and then be able to have everyone there and hang out, or maybe just go into the hotel and then just have like dinners out and just, I don't know, something. It'd be cool to just have a meetup because there's so many people in this community that are amazing that just to be able to meet face to face would be just awesome. You know, you guys, so if I was to meet you, the person that you speak to is going to be me, just like when I'm standing here talking to you, okay? Whereas I don't know you from Adam, right? So it'd be really cool for me, really, really cool. You know, I'm not like, you know, there's no airs with me. How I speak here on the show is how I'd speak to you if we were just hanging out, having a beer or something. So that's just who I am. So, but yeah, I would like to do a meetup. So that's something that, you know, I'm going to have to discuss it with some people and see what would be a good location, where to do it. And, you know, even flying out somewhere, that's pretty cool. You know, talking about that meetup in Boca Chica, think about this. They're coming out with a Boca Chica, a version 2, let's say, of Starbase here in Florida, literally 3 hours north of me. At that point, I'm going to be going to a lot more of these launches. So that's going to be really cool. So there might be some meetups that can happen like that. Daytona Beach is right down the road from there. Daytona Beach is an awesome place to go. You can see, you know, the Daytona 500 goes on there. There's just a ton of interesting things happen. The beaches are awesome. You drive your vehicles on the beach. It's just a cool place to kind of hang out. So maybe Daytona, you know, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get some ideas from Mo and Peter and maybe Shannon and all the rest of you guys that are here all the time. Give me some ideas where we can kind of meet up. Craig, thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you for being here. So guys, listen, once again, I want to say thank you for everyone. I want to say thank you to everyone that has done any kind of super chatting, all of the support, buying the teas, doing all this kind of stuff. It really does help out the channel. Shannon, thank you. Thank you, Peter. Just thank you, everyone, Mo, for everything that you guys do. Everyone that's here and just kind of hanging out with me on Friday nights. You know, hopefully next Friday you don't have to just look at me. You can see my wife too, beautiful wife, instead of just this mug. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more videos coming up now that we have the editor and we have the new system going on here and everything is actually working, which is absolutely great. All of the editing is happening on Linux. There is going to be some new Linux content that I'm working on right now that it's might be a little geeky, and the problem is whenever I do any kind of Linux on the channel, since it isn't SpaceX, it's not Starlink, it doesn't have to do with space, YouTube says, oh no, I don't want to tell your 133,000 people about it. So we'll get like 1,000 views on it. Even though it's really good content, it doesn't matter because YouTube doesn't think that anyone will want to see it because that's how they are. Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate all of you. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Enjoy the family, eat some good food, hang out, and we'll see you again on Monday. I will leave this chat going for another 5-10 minutes. So if you guys want to keep on chatting in there, that's fine. I'll get in there and start doing some chatting too. But if not, once again, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much, guys. Love you all.